everyone. This is Kama with the talk show, Pursuing Your Passion. And this evening we are talking to Jacqueline Taylor-Adams. She has her own company called TaylorAdams Marketing and Management. I want you all to welcome my guest, Jacqueline. Thank you so much for being on.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me, Kama.
Well, first of all, I want to say congratulations on your for being an honoree at Real Sisters Rising Associates. So congratulations.
Yes, yes. Real Sister Rising is a great membership organization. So women in business, women hoping to go in business, women networking, you really want to join.
Well, that is wonderful. It's always good when you're getting honored by someone. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your business and where you guys are located?
Okay. Again, I'm Jacqueline Taylor-Adams, and my business name is TaylorAdams Marketing. We'll talk about, branding. I brand a lot of things TaylorAdams Marketing. So you can go to TaylorAdamsMarketing.com, TaylorAdams for me, and you'll find me. You Google me, you'll find me anywhere on social media and the website. But I've actually been doing marketing, for almost 15 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I really started, I went to school. I was in a school of business, but my major was accounting. And I worked as administrative assistant for years. And I started being hired because I was really good at putting systems in place. And I was hired for that, maybe because I started with the Census Bureau for the centennial census that they give. Well, when they start, you only start with a manual. So you have to figure out how to make everything work. And then I had programming background. I was curious. At that time, we still had mainframe systems. We weren't even doing PCs. It was one new PC in the whole middle of the office, and I would sneak over there, and I taught myself how to use it. That's when it was WordPress. What's that called? WordPerfect. It was WordPerfect and Lotus. Yes. But that's when I realized everything over there on that PC was the same type of thing we had on the mainframe, just different names. So word processing was a word processing, and word processing was a word processing, and spreadsheet was a spreadsheet.
Right.
So with the census, it transitioned. It was like three-year and 3 stages, and I was able to carry the transitions, connect things, and we actually were responsible for like 4 states, 40 offices, and I did so well managing that and putting all the systems in place that when I left there, I was one of the people there hired me to go somewhere else. So it was Philadelphia Mental Health Care. And there, we had a lot of gadget guys and all. So they gave us, computers. We bought our own computers, and that wasn't known back, then. That was like 1990. I think that was 91 and 94. And so I had my own computer and all, but unfortunately, my husband became terminally ill with cancer.
Oh.
So in 94, I had to stop working to take care of him. And I've always been doing my own business thing. That kind of was me. When I was 7, my mom and them came home, and I had set up a flea market on the porch. The only problem was it was enclosed. But I was always trying to sell something. And I started working with my church at 13, and we have a unique ministry for the deaf and hearing. So I always had ideas about fundraisers, different things. So it just was a knack. And actually, my husband and I, we had a vending stand. We're in Philadelphia, so it's like 125th Street up in New York, but we here in Philadelphia on 52nd Street. So we used to vend, and then I got a little bored with that. I wanted to do, I like black everything. I've been Afrocentric since about 11 years old.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, but the streets there in Philly where we were, there really wasn't a place to sell books, especially outside. But then certain things that audience wasn't buying. So, but, I got all my wholesale accounts and things and wanted to sell them. So he started setting up expos and all for us to go to. So we went to the Black Expo when it was, one thing, and toured around the country. And you ever saw the movie Cool Running?
No, I've heard of it. I know what it is, but I've never seen it.
Okay, the Jamaican guy that was the main star on that, he was actually starting his own business. At that time, the Black Expo, it was like so many celebrities and so many major businesses launched. Carol's daughter, that's when I met her.
Okay.
She did the circuit for the Black Expo. This was back in the early 90s. And so it was real, real interesting. But there I did, sold black books, cookware, like special Afrocentric hats and aprons and, things for cooking and specialty coffees and things. So, there I got to get that side off. So we were always entrepreneurs, and but when my husband got, sick, I, stayed home to take care of him. And then when he passed on in 95,
Mm-hmm.
it was right before, it was late August when he passed. So in October was the Million Man March.
Okay.
And then after the march, they organized and, to come together, businesses to help themselves. So I was part of that. That was called the Johnny Sample Club. And Johnny Sample was a well-known tennis player. He's passed on since. But Johnny Sample started that club. And I met a lot of entrepreneurs there. And I started working with Ron Wandering Feather. Shout out to Ron. So Ron started working with him, and he's an artist. Anything that you can conceive to make by hand, whatever you see, he can make.
Oh, wow.
So whether it's working with wood, iron, glass, building, jewelry, awards, everything he makes. But then he was doing a lot of T-shirts, so I would do his typesetting, and he would sell. Then I had the idea of the what do I call it? The African design. So we would actually go in homes, and this would be great with you since you're a real estate person, but we would go in a home that would let us, and we would decorate it. So instead of having vendors, tables, and the vendors sell all their wares, it will all be African-inspired decor, but we would place it where it would need to be. And then Ryan would create an area for the bedroom, because we wouldn't go up in the house, but he just had big bay windows, so he actually made it look like a bedroom. He made the top, the first landing of the stairs, made it look like a bathroom area.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we hung the artwork on the walls, the mask, everything was placed in the living room by the fireplace. We made a sitting area, and a woman named Denise Davis and Sharnae Alagotson. They have a book. You can still find it. It's called The Spirit of African Design. So we would have them. They had the authors come there. People could sit, talk with the authors, get their books signed, buy books. And so, I have an idea. I do it. Ron support me. And so I just always, but in that time, as working with Ron, other small business people would come to me, and they say, well, I need this. I was like, well, let's define this better, because I'm having a hard time understanding, their brand or what they do. And so what I do is, so what I've done is I, help them and say, well, let's get a tagline. Because I asked them, what do you do for your business? And all this, I said, well, let's say this, and it'll help explain so people can easily understand. And then I would always make these certain type of recommendations. I would do flyers for people, this and that. I do sales letters. I still do a lot of work for people when they have problems on jobs, or help them articulate. A lot of times when they go into HR, I'll write their response and proposal. So I do that for people. So I was, doing that, and I just realized that what I really liked doing was marketing, helping people define their brand, images, all of those things. So I just, continued it. In 96, beginning of 96, I was looking in the newspaper, October Gallery. Again, go to octobergallery.com, sell black art, anything art I do. But and October Gallery is one of our oldest African American art galleries, and they've done an art expo for over 28 years.
Oh, wow.
And so they had an ad in the paper about, if you like, fine art, at Black Fine Art, and come check us out. And I was able to start selling art by doing home shows. And we got great training because the artists would actually train us. Mercer does an excellent job at training. So I'm actually, back with it again, but I'm mainly doing the affiliate online. But we got an extensive training in art. What's a lithograph as opposed to offset lithograph, as opposed to a direct process, as opposed to a limited edition, original, all of those different scenarios. And artists taught us a lot, and they would just demonstrate their process, a lot of the artists that we actually work with. And I sold art. I met Charles Bibbs, Annie Lee, every major black artist I met working at the expos. So, and and all of those were potential clients. And even one business I'm still in today is All Natural Health and Wellness. I actually first engaged that company at one of the expos. They were vending. And it was actually another company, but it was the co-founder. And then she went and founded actually her own company, because there was, two people there, but she found her own company, which is now Soul Purpose. And I actually met her there. So I just was always in a network of entrepreneurs. That's, I'll admit that was always my mindset. But it was, figuring out what do I actually do, what impassioned me was a process. Because when I went to college, unfortunately, I didn't have any college guidance, and no one in my family had went to college. I knew a lot of people in college with degrees from my church, because my pastor was an AKA, and so I always grew up knowing about the sororities and things, but most people was in social services, or a lot of my friends was going in the medical field, because I went to one of the top high schools. But for some reason, the college guidance counselor never made an appointment and spoke with me. So I just guessed. I knew I liked business and I liked math. I wasn't a science person, so I knew I wasn't going to any medical. I didn't want to do social service. So I went into the School of Business, and at that time I figured if I do accounting, I know I could come out with a skill where I could get a job. That was, that was my thought pattern. So I did that. But it was real monotonous. I mean, as much as I love numbers and all, it was just, accounting is real monotonous. It didn't excite me. But, as I stated, with my administrative experience, me writing letters, good at writing, did a lot of technical writing, all my career. So when my husband passed, I just used my skills that I had, and I realized what excited me, what I got excited about, was identifying people brand and helping them just nail it, and how do we articulate and how do we convince people. I always liked sales. I was in junior achievement in high school, which is an entrepreneurial track, and we actually sold, which is now Verizon, but it was Bell at that time. We sold their phone systems and all. So I just noticed what excited me, but I always had a whole lot of ideas. So that was just was my issue, basically my biggest issue, learning how to focus. And it just come down to, as you realize what really excites me, what really moves me. And as you speak it and you request it and you ask it, things will unfold. We spoke yesterday, I love helping people. Sometimes it could be to a fault, because I will do for everyone before I do for myself. But I worked with children. I was the marketing manager at the House of Umoja, which was a residential home for black boys. I'm on boards of nonprofits. We have a theater. I'm the marketing director for a theater company. I just love helping, and I realized I love the arts. I started with the visual artist. Then I was also marketing director for a theater here in Philadelphia, black theater, and I loved it. And through the theater, I met more theater people. I met a lot of spoken word artists. I love words. English and math was all my extra credits in high school. I took English and math, so I love words already. I love to write. So when I got with the spoken word artists, but then where I realized they lack, these are the two things: identifying your passion and finding a need.
Right.
Found with the artists was that a lot of them, especially at that time, this is like early mid 2000, they really didn't have a business acumen.
Mm-hmm.
and artists are a special breed. But now today, I think with social media, I think more and more artists are compelled to get their business on. But at that time, it was like an artist that wants to be an artist. I just want to create, and somebody else handles the business. But long gone are those days where a fairy godmother's going to come in and make you the superstar and pay for everything. You know, that doesn't happen anymore. But that was just a big thing about making, with the spoken word artists. Philly has some phenomenal artists all the way across the board.
Mm-hmm.
But it was some phenomenal spoken word artists, but yeah, who was getting the credit at that time, they were a good spoken word artist. But to be honest, they couldn't compete with a lot of the artists, and they were from Philly too. But they couldn't compete with a lot of the artists on the circuit. So I asked myself, why are these great artists not known, and this okay artists super known? They're all from the same place. So I just started to study, and some people I knew in the industry, they helped me. And I developed what's called the Master Griot Project, a marketing initiative to help create a viable industry for spoken word. And out of that has come our radio station, Master Griot Radio. I still work with all artists, and that developed as the management side of TaylorAdams Marketing. While we do not directly manage individual artists, what the management divisions have marketing systems in place to help independent artists cost effectively release and reach their target audience.
Okay. Well, you do a lot. You are just as busy as I am.
Yes. Well, I figure I'm this kind of person. I just assume that if I need something that I really like to do, I had learned I was really like doing massages. I said, well, wow, I like doing massages. Then I need to look for some oil. That's how I had found the company, Sole Purpose, when I was at the Art Expo, because I was looking around, who had oils? I was already into the holistic scene.
Right.
So that's what I did. So anything I use, if I really use it and I'm passionate about it, I'm going to find a way to get a wholesale, because,
Yeah.
I purchased for years for like hundreds of offices. That's one of the things I did, was purchasing.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I tell people, when you're going after your passion, whatever your purpose is, and then if you have a passion for something, it's there. Just like I was hearing someone say, when you know you want to, just say you want a red BMW, you're going to see every red BMW that drives down the street because it's already in your head, and then you're looking for it, and eventually you'll get it because you have to work for it, or you're doing whatever you're doing to see, the best deal. And that's what happens with us when we find something and we know we have something. I never thought I was a salesperson. I always say I'm not a salesperson until I read something that somebody I'm working with very closely, he posted. He said, we all are salespeople.
Yes.
I always say I'm not sales because I don't do anything high pressure. But then I think about it, we are. When we have something that we really love, we always we like to push people to, to buy into it, to enjoy it. Like with me, my purpose is to help people in their businesses. So I'm trying to sell them their dream so they can make it a reality, so that they can make themselves happy in life, and that's how I see it. And it's not a bad thing. I'm just trying to help you increase your vision and know that you have something that somebody else wants. So it's always good when people are out there pushing. Your radio station, you've been doing radio for how long?
Well, I think I actually started around 2006, 2007. And again, it was just from networking online. I think then it was called Connecting Black. And I don't even think it's around anymore. But I met up with, I would see this man named, two people, Lee Green and Hussein Hill. Mm-hmm. And this Lee Green will market this thing, the National Black Business Trade Association. So eventually I went there. And what I really liked about it, because, a lot of online things, they just have a certain flavor. Right. But they had, the census data, things that you would need and a business developing itself. Mm-hmm. So, a lot of time, for one of the first things you need to do is identify your target audience. You need to research. So they had census data, tools and things that you needed. And I said, "Oh, well, how much is it to belong to this?" So I first time I went there, I didn't join because and I saw a woman I knew from Philly named Rita Ebo, and if you ever heard of a poem, "Why Did You Make Me Black?" That's by Rita Runette Ebo. And it's been around for years, but I actually saw her. I said, "Oh, Runette Ebo's on here," but then when I went back, I couldn't find her. I didn't realize the thing circulated, so I joined with this man named Hussein Hill, and then we belong to the National Black Business Trade Association, and all the time you can get your own radio show, you can do your own radio show. So I did not intend. I'm always has been a behind the scenes person. I said, I do not intend, unless I'm going on the radio for my clients, PR work. But I was like, I didn't intend on doing any shows, but I said, this would be a great platform for the artists. Let me try it out. So I tried it, and I couldn't figure out how to work it. And Hussein Hill, and you can still find Hussein around. He's starting to write music as well, so you can, check him out on YouTube. Just Hussein Hill. His show was called The Oral Buffet, and he has a catering company. But yeah, he helped me, taught me how to do it. And then, in order to play the music, we would play the music on the radio, take the telephone, and sit it by the speaker. Okay.
Made it work.
I was like, okay, that's how I have to do it. Okay, that's what you said. And then I guess around 2007, Blog Talk had been popular, and people kept saying they were over on Blog Talk, Blog Talk, Blog Talk, Blog Talk. So Lee said, and I'm pretty sure he probably wasn't as fun because it wasn't necessarily a black-owned platform, but people kept going over there. He said, Jackie, go check out and see if you can figure out Blog Talk. And I'm like, I couldn't figure out this first thing. Now you want me to figure out something else. And I went over there. I started it up, but I was just as confused as I could be. And then right around January 2008, I was interviewing. It was called the Lady Clubs of Common G's Elementary School. And they were doing an interview, and they were getting together in the office, and they were sitting around the phone and the table. But I couldn't get our station up, the MBBTA station. I couldn't get it up. And I was like, oh, my gosh, they coming on, and I can't get this to work and all. I said, so I just hurried up over to the Blog Talk thing. Somehow everything clicked. Boom, boom, made it work. And I was able to interview, the youth. And so then I started using it once I knew how, and I kept trying to get everyone to come over, and they didn't. But like I said, I love showcasing young people, so that was one of my first shows. I did a show with the House of Umoja, and so my first shows were around young people, and I would play a lot of spoken word. And then I had the Brothers Keepers. They out of Memphis. Peace out. They had for almost 2 years a show called Real Talk with Brothers Keepers. Those shows are still around. And so, they did a show, and I would just allow different, that was the platform for artists to be able to do shows. But since I was in business, I did a marketing show, the Media Mix Live. I did my marketing show, and it's just evolved over the years. I've done special interviews with authors. Again, a lot of people around the arts, promote different things. And I just realized it's a great vehicle, and it's one of my main focuses now is the radio. And we're getting ready to do a relaunch because the Master Griot project had went down for a moment, but we restructured, and in July we'll be relaunching with a niche directory exclusively for the spoken word industry. So it'll be a place where, really trying to bring together all of these datas, because somebody has something over here, something over here, something over here, something over here. We want to bring it together. And there's some great services that people have and, people don't know about. So it's always best to collaborate. So I'm making the directory and allowing everyone to get this information. So again, allowing the independent artists to be able to navigate and more efficiently find those things that work for them.
Okay. How did you get chosen? I mentioned earlier that you are the honoree this month for the Real Sisters Rising Women Business Association. How did you get chosen for that great award?
Well, Shashina, she's hit me up on Facebook too. I don't know if she's trying to get in, but Shashina, she just, it's one of the benefits of being a member. They select, once a month they select a member to showcase, and she's really want to uplift those that are really doing well, and give support. That's just one of the benefits. So by selecting a member a month, it gives us an opportunity to be seen, for people to notice us, to know about our business, and it's really good. And also the Rise to Power conference that they give once a year. At the end of the year in November, I received an award there. She recognized several of us there up in New York at the Rise to Power conference. So, Shashina does some great work, and Real Sister Rising is a great program. And I'm pretty sure Shashina and I have been networking together probably almost since Connecting Black. It's really a great, it's a large and a small world. But
Yeah,
we've actually been all networking. She knows who Lee Green is. And if I click over here to my Facebook tab, would you still see me?
I'm sure I will.
Okay, I'm gonna just click real quick to see what Shashina is saying. Okay.
Okay, well, while you're clicking, I definitely want to say hi to Shashina. I don't know if you are watching, but she was a guest, a past guest, when I first started, and she's doing some wonderful things. She is the founder of Real Sisters Rising Business Association. I'm sorry, Real Sisters Rising Women Business Association. And she is definitely, she's been honored. She's honoring other women. It's for networking and education. And she has introduced me to a lot of different women, and I really, really appreciate her. I know she probably, I don't know if she's watching, but I definitely wanted to give kudos to her. And we'll be highlighting once a month the women that she's honoring through her business association. But she's so genuine, and she's given me some very, very great tips just for my business. And I just love her energy. I love what she's doing. And just more power to you, Shashina, if you're watching. For those that want to get more information, they have a Facebook page, which is Real Sisters Rising Business Women Association, and make sure you find her. Again, that's Real Sisters Rising Women Business Association. Find her on Facebook and make sure you like her page. Great woman, very down to earth, and join her association. She's very active in her community, always putting together events. So I just want to give her that little plug because I really appreciate all that she does. I watch a lot of what she does. So before I let you go, because we're going to wrap this up, I want you to leave a little something with the audience and then let them know how they can contact you for your marketing and your Blog Talk Radio.
All right. Well, I just want to, again, inspire people. If you want to start your own business or just pursue a passion, it doesn't necessarily have to be in your own business, but, make sure you're doing something you love, especially if you're doing a 9-to-5 grind that you really feel is a grind and is not bringing you enjoyment. Find something that you love and do it. If it's a hobby, if it's a side project, but whatever makes you feel good, that's it. When you start to feel good when you do it, that's the thing. And it doesn't have to be anything special and all, but once you identify that gift. Now, if you'd like to reach me, and if you need help with planning your business, if you need help with marketing, any type of business service, everything from your domain name to websites, hosting, SSL certificates, if you need cell phone, if you need T1 lines, if you have an office and you need T1 lines, PBXs, telecommunications, anything you need for your business, just give me a call. It's 1-877-552 7012. Again, that's 1-877-552-7012. My extension is 1111. The website is www.TaylorAdamsMarketing.com. And again, you can find me, just my name, Jacqueline Taylor-Adams, and you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, anywhere. And also want to let everyone know, as far as my website, for my wellness, I'm Walking in Wellness, and you can find that on Facebook. But if you just Google I'm Walking in Wellness, I'm walkinginwellness.com. And I want to help you build legacies of health, of wellness. Not, we want to build wealth, but we as a people got to build some wellness legacies as well.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Shashina is on. She said, thank you so much. No, thank you. I appreciate you for bringing me this wonderful guest. And also my business coach, I don't know if he's still on. It looks like he may still be on. His name is Dennis Anderson. He does investing. He is such a wonderful guy. But he said, great interview, ladies. So thank you so much, Dennis, for supporting me. I really appreciate you and all that you're doing. If anybody is interested in getting into real estate investing, I'm telling you, hands down, this guy is it. He's so patient and humble, and he's a huge blessing in my life, and I watch everything he's doing. So thank you, Dennis, so much for watching, and thank you to my guest Jacqueline for being on. And for those that are interested in continuing to watch more shows, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube, which is For Sale by Comma. I am constantly doing interviews. I am booked for the rest of the month. So every Monday and Wednesday for the rest of the month, we will have some great guests. I am currently booking for December. Woo, where am I? For May of 2014. So if you or someone you know is interested in being a part of my show, please make sure you go to commaspeaks.com and you can go /contact us. Make sure you fill out the information and someone will get back to you within 24 to 48 hours. Thank you so much for tuning in to Pursuing Your Passion. Continue to support. You can hashtag me on commaspeaks.com. I'm sorry, hashtag commaspeaks. Also follow my blogs. I'm just so tongue-tied. I've had, I think, a total of 5 meetings today, and I'm still trying to recoup from all of them. But that is my life, and I love entrepreneurship. So those that are out there that want to pursue your passion, make sure you pursue your passion. Stop going after other people's goal. Go after your goal and always pursue your passion. Thank you for tuning in, and you all have a good night.
Good night. Thank you, Comma.
You're welcome.